The Supreme Court has ordered that all stray dogs in Delhi NCR be removed from streets and they should be moved to dedicated dog shelters set up by civic authorities within 8 weeks, making it clear that no captured animal will be released back on streets. The court also termed as absurd a provision in animal birth control rules which say that stray dogs picked up from an area should be returned to the same location after sterilization and immunization. The court said that municipal authorities and states should start working on a shelter for 5,000 to 6,000 dogs in the next 6 or 8 weeks. Joining us now to speak about this order is one of India's most authoritative voices on animal rights, an activist, former union minister and BJP leader Maneka Gandhi. Ma'am, thank you very much for joining us to discuss the impact of this order. You know, what's going to be the cost of this exercise? Many animal rights activists have said that this is absolutely untenable, what the Supreme Court has recommended. But even cost-wise, what's the larger implication?
There are 3 lakh dogs in Delhi. So it's not a question of 5,000 and 6,000. It's 300,000. Now, in order to house these 300,000, you will have to have 3,000 shelters. And none of those shelters can be near colonies, rich or poor. So you have to find, the first cost is finding 3,000 pieces of land. The second cost is building on that land. You'll have to have high walls. You have to have kitchen. You have to have a shed for the dogs. You have to have isolation rooms in case they get, one of them develops distemper or parvo. You have to employ 150,000 people more who will clean the feces and the urine of the dogs 3-4 times a day. You have to have a watchman to see that they don't run out. You have to have vans, about 500 vans, to pick up these 3 lakh dogs. So the total cost would be close to about 15,000 crores. And then the maintenance cost, please remember, is making the drainage system, bijli, pani, and the food. At the moment, the food will cost you about 5 crores a week, which is now being done free by feeders. So these are just the costs alone.
Right. The court has termed the animal control rules of 2001 as absurd. The bench has questioned why these dogs, once relocated, should be returned to the area where they were originally living. Now, what's the danger of this exercise, ma'am?
Yeah, this is the only way that bites will stop. If a dog is picked up from its own area, sterilized and put back, it knows who to be friendly with, it knows where the food is, it has no testosterone left, so it will be calm and placid. And this is, wherever this is happening, whatever colony, there's been no bites. Unfortunately, the MCD and the RWAs themselves are to blame for this. For the last 6 years, they have been relocating animals. Now, when a dog is relocated, he is taken from my colony, put into your colony. He doesn't have any friends there. There are local dogs already. He doesn't know where his food is going to come from. He's being hit by local guards or random passers-by who don't want an extra dog in the colony. He's going to bite. And who will he bite? The most vulnerable of all. He'll bite children, he'll bite old people, he'll bite women. So, relocation is possibly the most dangerous thing, which is why I say that this judgment is not a reasoned or a judgment of somebody who's actually studied the problem. It's very easy when you're a judge to just sound off. But it's not something that, does the government have 15,000 crores in Delhi? Can they afford 5 crores a week when there's so many hungry people, when the roads need to be built, when other things need to happen? What is it that you want to prioritize? I will tell you what we prioritize. We prioritize less dogs, no biting, and harmonious living. And in order to reach that, the first step would be to have very, very good ABC centers. Let us compare ourselves to Hyderabad, or best of all, Lucknow. Lucknow has 1 ABC center. Delhi has 20. And that 1 ABC center has, without any fuss, without any tamasha, sterilized the whole of Lucknow. So there are no bite cases that are reported there. What do we have in Delhi? We have 20 centers. And in 20 years, you have never seen a single center. Some of them don't work. Some of them have infrastructure that is falling all over the place. You have no monitoring committees. These are all run by the MCD. And let me tell you a shocking fact. There was a time when every person in the MCD who would retire would be given an ABC center as a parting gift so that he could continue to earn money. This is one. And the second is RWAs. They will call vans at night, pick up the dogs within the gated community who have lived there their whole lives, and go and throw them 20 kilometers away into a slum or a lower middle class area. Now, these dogs are the ones that are biting. This is the only reason for bites, only. If we can stop the relocation and put them back in their own areas, you will not have bites.
Right.
And
so you're saying, ma'am, relocation is the only reason for dog bites?
Yes. Because you've solved the other problems. Before there was biting because a female comes on heat. So the males then become very agitated and they cross their territories and boundaries. And they fight with each other and any human being that comes in the way of the fight. The second is the female has babies and she knows that out of the 6 babies she's had, 5 will die by being hit, starved, run over. So she's very protective from the beginning. But now with sterilization, you take away both these reasons. So then there's only one left.
Right. That's an important point, ma'am. Let me also ask you, what is the middle path, the solution that you see out of all of this? Now, you have a bench led by Justice Pardiwala and Justice Mahadevan, R. Mahadevan, which has given this order that you need to remove all stray dogs and put them in shelters. You have to build a shelter for 5,000 to 6,000 dogs in the next few months. However, this may be...
5,000 or 6,000 make any difference? How will it make any difference? If
Right.
they're 300,000, 5,000 is what? I mean, I have 8,000 dogs in my shelter, which have come because they're diseased or they're hurt in the Sanjay Gandhi shelter. So what is 5,000?
It's a very
just
small
saying
number. It doesn't address the problem.
It doesn't mean anything. It's like the rest of the judgment. It's meaningless. Not only that, a judgment was given by a 2-judge bench several months ago, Justice Maheshwari. And that was a reasoned, sensible order, which said exactly what I'm saying, which is improve the ABC. That is not just the middle path, it's the only path. Improve the sterilization, improve the ABC centers. And within 2 years, we will have no bites and less dogs. As it is, the ABC, no matter how badly it's run, has brought the number of dogs down from 8 lakhs to 3 lakhs. You continue with the ABC. Now, let me explain to you what will happen. We'll pick up these 3 lakh dogs. We'll put them wherever they want to put them. Within 48 hours, 3 lakh dogs will come from Faridabad, Ghaziabad, the villages, Bhawana, wherever, Meerut, who knows? Wherever there is food, all beings gravitate towards food, including you, me, and ants. So what are you going to do with the next 300,000 or the next 300,000 after that? Does it make sense? Instead, sterilize what you have. Let them lead out their lives harmlessly. By then, the garbage situation will control. After all, this is bad garbage that is attracting everybody. This is illegal chicken shops all over the city, which is attracting dogs. If you can show civic sense. And lastly, if you stop the pet shops from selling hundreds and thousands of foreign dogs every week, every month, you will be able to adopt Indian dogs. If you look at the bite ratios, 70% of the bites have been done by pet dogs. So you're not touching those. What Lucknow has done has said you will have to register all your dogs that you own, and the registration will only be done after sterilization. And you will pay, if you have a foreign dog, you pay 500 rupees a year. And if you have an Indian dog, you pay nothing. These are the measures that we need to take in Delhi.
Right. Now, going forward, ma'am, what is the solution that you would have in mind? On one hand, as you've said, there are previous Supreme Court orders, and I'm told even now one of the benches, one of the judges in the Supreme Court is hearing a matter which is giving observations to the tune of the fact that the current rules must be followed. And then you have a judgment which is against the animal birth control rules. So how do we find a way out, a middle path, where we address concerns of families around dog bites and also address the concerns being raised by the Supreme Court?
But I explained it to you. A, make your ABC centers properly. It will take you 3 months to make them first class. Number 2, stop relocation. Number 3, close down pet shops from selling foreign dogs so that there are not more bites from pet dogs which are owned. Number 4, give respect to the feeders and create feeding spaces so that people don't object to saying, don't feed here, don't feed there. Give them cards. We have a 14-point program which has been studied over many, many months. This was presented to the minister on Friday and to the standing committee of the MCD. Both of them liked the program and said it could be done. But unfortunately, on Monday or yesterday comes this strange judgment. And you see, let me give you some of the fallout. You have a problem with monkeys. The minute you remove dogs, the monkeys will come down. Then you'll have to eliminate that species as well. The police say that when they are in training, one of the ways that they are taught to recognize a robbery in the making or a heinous crime in the making is when in that gully dogs are poisoned, leaving the gully vulnerable to a gang that comes in at night. So you are going to have a crime wave after this with no dogs as protectors, nobody making a noise in the gully. How will you be able to deal with that? I'm saying the fallouts are huge. A lot of women who live alone keep dogs. Are you going to remove those as well?
That's a very important point, ma'am. Now, going forward, I would also like to ask you now, the Delhi government has had 24 years to implement the sterilization programs and implement ABC rules. Why do you think this has not been done?
As I told you before, it's a hub of corruption. They give it to their own people. Most of them are not recognized. They have nothing to do with dogs or animal welfare. The ABC itself is in a shambles. But now that, we have presented this for the first time, any government called us to ask our views. Otherwise, it was just MCD handing out tofas in the form of these industries. Now, if they would sterilize one dog, they would write 10 dogs and take the money for 10 dogs. Now, all this has been collated by us. There is enough proof of that. And that is what we took to the government, saying, for God's sake, you want this situation to become better, make the ABC centers properly, professionally, and honestly. Within 2 years, the problem will go away.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Any final thoughts that you would like to leave us with? There is a lot of outrage around this order. Yes, from animal activists, and rightly so, who are saying that there are previous rules in existence. You need to implement them better. Then you have a set of people who feel that this order is absolutely right and these dogs need to be removed and not brought back. They're concerned about rabies and animal bites. So what would be your message to them, saying that we're worried about sending our children out on the streets?
I'm equally concerned, Beta. If this particular judgment could deal with the problem in a humane fashion, I would be the first person to say that. We all have children. I have grandchildren. And I think that, yes, they're right to be concerned. But the point is, what do we want? We want the same as them. We want less dogs, no biting. And this is not the way to do it because, as I said before, you remove those 3 lakh dogs, within 48 hours, you'll get 3 lakh more. And those 3 lakh will be unsterilized, unlike the 2.5 that are sterilized now. And they will bite 10 times more. So this is not the solution. So people who would be happy that the dogs are going to be taken and locked up, unfortunately, their happiness will last 48 hours. And then they will be faced with the next 300,000 dogs. And then what do? We need a more sustained way. And one, we must recognize that we're all on the same side. It's not animal welfare people against people. You know, I run orphanages for children myself. And for me, all beings are important.
Yeah, that's a very important point to end on, ma'am, because it is important to send out a message to everyone that we're all on the same page and you have to deal with this problem scientifically at the end of the day. Thank you once again for being with us here on News Center.